And now from chaos in Washington to chaos in the skies, a major disruption at Newark Liberty International Airport has exposed serious cracks in America's air traffic control system. On April 28th, air traffic controllers at the Philadelphia Control, who managed Newark's arrivals and departures, lost all radar and communications with aircraft under their purview. In fact, while the Department of Transportation initially claimed the blackout lasted just 30 seconds, sources in audio recordings suggest it may have been even longer.
The primary communication line went down, the backup line didn't fire, and so for 30 seconds we lost contact with air traffic. Now are planes going to crash? No, they have communication devices. But it's a sign that we have a frail system in place, and it has to be fixed.
Now, following the incident, United Airlines CEO blamed the airport for mismanagement, adding that the Newark terminal cannot handle the number of planes to operate there in the weeks and months ahead. In fact, an air traffic controller working at the airport also slammed it as quote-unquote not safe, urging people to avoid it at all costs. Meanwhile, several controllers also took trauma leave under the Federal Employees Compensation Act. The FAA confirmed that at least 5 employees had taken 45 days of leave, contrary to the report suggesting that they quote-unquote walked off the job, which the union clarified were legitimate absences due to the traumatic event.
Some controllers at the Philadelphia TRACON who work Newark arrivals and departures have taken time off to recover from the stress of multiple recent outages. While we cannot quickly replace the controllers due to this highly specialized profession, we continue to train controllers who will eventually be assigned to this busy airspace.
Still, the ripple effects were both immediate and severe. In fact, on the day of the breakdown, 36 flights were diverted and hundreds more were delayed or canceled. In fact, for 2 hours, there were no flights that arrived or departed from Newark. The crisis only ballooned as the chaos extended into the following week. And by Monday, more than 300 flights were delayed and over 150 were canceled. The FAA blamed the disruption on its outdated technology. Meanwhile, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy admitted the system is frail and pledged to unveil a multi-billion-dollar plan to modernize the nation's air traffic control infrastructure. He also introduced $5,000 bonuses for new air traffic controller recruits and said at least 2,000 would be hired this year.
As many of you have reported, we're about 3,000 air traffic controllers short right now. Now, we do have enough controllers to control the airspace. There's a lot of overtime. So I'm happy to announce that we have struck a deal with NATCA. They've been great partners through this process. And we are going to give a upfront substantial bonus for those controllers who are eligible to retire to actually stay on.
Critics, however, are not convinced. In fact, Senator Chuck Schumer has called for a full investigation, blaming the FAA's disarray on mismanagement and cuts made during the Trump administration.
We're here because the FAA is really a mess. This mess needs a real forensic look, a deep look into it. So today, I'm demanding a full Inspector General investigation as to what went on. I have asked the Office of Inspector General to thoroughly investigate what's going on at Newark and in the East Coast so these problems don't get worse and spread all across the nation.
And now as delays stretch into an 8th day and thunderstorms loom, one thing is certainly clear. America's skies are under increasing pressure. And unless bold fixes arrive soon, the next time radar goes dark, flyers might not be so lucky.